Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I am joined with the most incredible vocalist in the entire world, Elizabeth from the Charismatic Voice. They are taking care of me for the weekend, and today she's going to show me this fantastic new direction that Falling in Reverse is now going towards. I used to listen to Escape the Fate so much when I was a little kid, so I'm very interested to see what they're going to be in the future. And I just listened to the previous song, The Drug in Me Is You, just to get a little refresher, but I see they have a reimagined version. Today we're going to dive into it and see how reimagined it really is.
Perfect. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it. Immediately getting some AFI vibes. Love Like Winter. If you know it, you know what I'm talking about.
I heard a knock upon my door the other day. I opened it to find her staring in my face. The feel of mortal stalking still reverberates. Everywhere I go, I drag this coffin, just in case.
It's almost like an acoustic-y version of the original.
Yeah.
But with cellos, which immediately makes it way doper, because if you know me, I used to play the cello when I was like 5. So I'm in on this already.
Right. It's like, I think that, okay, I love all stringed instruments. This is true, but cello just takes it for me.
It's got that deep, subtle, je ne sais quoi about it. It scratches the itch.
It scratches the itch.
I know people that still do it to this day, and I'm like, man, I wish I did that.
Yeah.
Not that I'm saying I'm not happy with what I'm doing, but the cello is just very mature, like, instrument, I think.
In the future, I think we're going to see you doing like almost a cappella vocal just with you playing cello. I've never seen somebody do harsh vocals and play cello at the same time.
Oh, it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's
Don't
coming.
steal the idea. If you're seeing this video, don't steal the idea before I put it up. Thank you.
All right, back to the beginning.
Back to the beginning, to the AFI Love Like Winter intro. Let's go. Very good band, very good song, just saying.
Oh,
Check it out one day.
I've noted.
I heard a knock upon my door the other day.
Okay, I just want to say, like, I love the way that he gets into that sound right away.
Oh, yeah. It's so pretty.
And it's just so direct, and his voice has that urgency in it. You're like, whoa, you grabbed me.
I feel like it's just gentle enough where I feel like it might blow up into this big, grandiose, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm so
Reimagined.
excited. I'm excited because I really, really love this sound of Falling in Reverse, the previous sound of Falling in Reverse. Maybe it was where I was at in life, I'm not sure, but it just still hasn't ever hit me. Like, wow, I really, really like this. This, though, whoa. For
All
me,
right.
big.
I can't wait to see it.
Also, I love piano. I love it.
Same.
It's piano and cello. It's like our instrument.
It is.
What?
I love piano. It's beautiful. Sleep Token.
I opened it to find her staring in my face. The feel of mortal stalking still reverberates. Everywhere I go, I drag this coffin, just in case.
Is that head voice? I don't know a lot about singing. I'm trying my best out here. She knows the most about singing, obviously. So what is happening here? It sounds very light. I could hear he goes back to his like natural voice, but it also gets really, is it airy? Is that the word?
Like there's it's airy, but that wouldn't necessarily change what register he's in. The lightness of it would be associated with head voice register, but this all depends on where you're coming from in your singing training, because people in opera call something that's light like this head voice, but people in some contemporary genres will call it mixed voice, which annoys us all to no end.
It's because nobody's on the same level of it. Just like, oh, I think it's this. Well, I think we need somebody to just come out here and be like, this is what it is. Everybody get with the program.
Get it. But so what I will say definitively is happening is he has more CT engagement, more cricothyroids involved in the sound, which makes
Love cricothyroids.
right. They're so good.
Great word.
They like stretch out more as you go higher, and it creates a thinner edge of the vocal fold. So like instead of like this big old thick thing that's like creating like a lot of sound is like a thinner thing that's creating, it's more like a rubber band. If you stretch a rubber band out, like think about that. That's what the CTs do. There's more CT engagement in that light sound than the heavy sound.
Okay.
And that's what's causing.
That's why it's so pretty. That's the pretty muscle. Hell yeah.
The pretty muscle.
That's the pretty muscle.
On my door the other day,
Pretty muscle.
I opened it to find her staring in my face. The feel of mortal stalking still reverberates. Everywhere I go, I drag this coffin.
Like has that thicker like
Yes.
super sound.
In case.
Oh yeah.
I love the writing of the cello against the piano here.
My body's
It's like the cello is just keeping the rhythm and the piano is just going off.
Adrenaline kicks and shifts into overdrive. Your secrets keep you sick, your lies keep you alive. Snake eyes every single time you roll with crooked eyes. I felt the darkness as it tried to pull me down. The kind of dark that haunts 100-year-old house. I wrestle with my thoughts, I shook the hand of doubt.
Oh, pretty muscles.
I'm sorry, I had to stop it before we got to the next part.
Wow, what a range.
Right?
I swear to God.
Right? I feel like it's just totally super gorgeous. And I also love the way he sings through all of his ins, like all of these closed consonants, like L's or ins or ims. He's like, l.
I don't know if I noticed that. Now I gotta listen back
Okay.
this next time.
I just like, it makes me go, yum. Each time.
Pretty.
He's
Not to
through
be
that.
confused with pretty muscles.
Not to be confused. Here, listen to them and see if it makes you feel yummy.
All right.
My body's trembling and shivers down my
Trembling.
spine. Adrenaline kicks and shifts into overdrive. Your secrets keep you sick, your lies keep you alive. Snake eyes every single time you roll with crooked eyes. I felt the darkness as
Okay, so did you feel
Yes.
like moments where you're like in?
Yes, absolutely. I love the way, I mean, something about the way that Ronnie, like, enunciates or something like that. I don't even know. It's like, it's almost, I don't know if it's over enunciating, because it reminds me of like this pop punk way where you can tell everything that he is saying, but it's not pop punky at all. It's very, you know, I don't even know how to describe it. It reminds me of Panic at the Disco a lot, which was one of my favorite bands growing up. So
It's like, it's definitely heightened is what I would call it. It is not, a lot of times people will go for an enunciation in contemporary music that feels like, it's casual, I'm your best friend, or I'm speaking to you as a lover, it's pillow talk, right? It's that kind of soft, very lazy enunciation can lean towards intimacy in the sound. Or if you get really, really clear with every single consonant the way that he's doing, that goes more towards your kind of classical diction. But he's not opening into these really huge, like operatic kinds of vowels.
right.
Instead, he's just giving us every single consonant, which normal people don't even speak with. So,
That's
yeah.
awesome. I know in the original song he is very, very much enunciating everything, and that's what makes me feel like this is such a much more prettier song. It's slower. I guess he's doing those little things like what you're saying. A big fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ronnie's killing it.
Killing it. Pulling back a little
Killing
bit,
it.
just so I could enjoy more yum. And
Blast it!
shivers down my spine. Adrenaline kicks and shifts into overdrive. Your secrets keep you sick, your lies keep you alive. Snake eyes every single time you roll with crooked eyes. I felt the darkness as it tried to pull me down.
that gets me here.
The kind of dark that haunts 100-year-old house. I wrestle with my thoughts, I shook the hand of doubt. Running from my past,
Right?
I'm praying feet. Don't fail me now. I lost my goddamn mind. the time. I can't believe I'm actually meant to be here, trying to consume. The drug in me is you, and I'm so high on misery.
This is the chorus. Wow. That is way different. It is so much
Right?
slow, so much like considerably slowed down.
Yeah.
I was like, is this the chorus that I remember? And then I started to hear the end of it. I was like, this is definitely the chorus. Wow.
Yeah, it's like really stripped down. That is just him and piano right now.
Wow.
And a really big reverb space. Like when you, this is, I've heard this before several times. But when I go back and listen, the thing that I'm loving in this part now is the way I hear so much space around his sound. I think that production's really cool. It's like I almost hear like whispers that are left over of his sound still bouncing around.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. It's such a pretty voice. I swear to
really
God.
is.
It
Yeah,
does.
Like there's like an urgent whine that's wrapped in ribbons and tied in a bow, right?
Yes, that's exactly how I would describe it.
I'm gonna go back to that part one time.
Yes,
It
please.
happens all the time. I can't believe I'm actually meant to be here, trying to consume. The drug in me is you, and I'm so high on misery. Can't you see?
Wow, this is so ballady.
It's so
It's
valid.
really cool though. I was expecting this to, by the time the chorus came in, it kicked into like this massive thing. We're already 2 minutes into the song.
Right?
And it's still really slow, which is like kind of nice. That's definitely completely different than any Fallen Universe I've ever heard in the past.
Right? Like I had this like definite punk edge that I was hearing before, and
Yes.
and then you're like, wait, take that voice and literally sing a ballad. Whoa!
This is how you make people cry
Right?
in the crowd. They're just like, ah, can't you see?
Yeah.
Ah.
Gosh, it just always gets me though when you have an incredible vocalist like this and a really like heavy, fast kind of band, and then all of a sudden you just get them with like an acoustic instrument or two.
Oh yeah. Changes the
Oh.
sound completely. You're like, I didn't even think that they could sound like that.
Right? It gives you a new appreciation for their voice.
Oh, absolutely.
Beautiful. Okay, you want to keep going?
Yeah, absolutely.
I hit the space bar. Oh gosh.
Boom!
I've got these questions always running through my head. So many things that I would like to understand. If we are born to die and we all die to live, then what's
I love
the
that.
point of living?
Okay. Can
What
you-
was that?
Like, okay.
Is that
right.
falsetto or head or what was
He's
that?
shifting registers there, but there's actually a really specific thing. He gets like a little bit of noise in the sound at one point. I was actually going to ask you about it, what you think is like being done to create that little bit of noise.
I've got these.
Also, I like the way he takes that breath and just dives into the sound right away. It's so nice.
I like that they kept the breath too.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That gives it a very, how you were saying before, like a
that personal
gentle,
kind of intimate.
yes,
Yeah.
intimate kind of sound to it. Because otherwise it just
Yeah.
sounds really robotic, which is fine. A lot of people want that, but for something like this where it's like a ballad, it's slow, I feel like you want to hear all of those little things because it makes it even more ballady.
Yep.
Aside from the 4 people that are just dancing ballad-like in my mind right over here. I think that's ballad-like.
This is a ballad dance.
Okay.
Is that what you call?
That's
a
what I
ballad
would call a
dance?
ballad dance.
Not ballet, but ballad.
Ballad. Ballad dance.
The worst.
Hell yeah.
Where is this moment?
I've got these questions always running through my head. So many things that I would like to understand. If we are born to die and we all die.
So at the end of Die, he like closes up a little bit, essentially, like creates a little bit of distortion there.
Okay. Bring it back one more
Okay,
time,
one more time.
actually.
To understand if we are born to die and we all die.
Oh yeah.
Like it essentially
Little
introduces
raspiness.
a little like sounds to me like a tiny harsh vocal source is entering the sound. What do you think that is? What would you go towards like a fry or like upper constriction to do that kind of sound?
I wonder if it's just like a breath that he's taking, and it's maybe the way that he's already lined up his vocal cords that it kind of just automatically distorts it somehow. I mean, Ronnie's always done screams and cleans. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's figured out the perfect seesaw to just kind of be able to go straight from singing into that little breath of, distortion or whatever. I'm sure he could just turn it on and turn it off however he wants at this point.
I think he can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought it was such like a nice little like, it's like a little kiss on top of the sound.
I like that.
Yeah.
I say we bring it back one more time.
Like to understand if we are born to die and we all die to live. Then what's
Just
the
on
point
die.
of
What is that? I don't
Right?
even know what that is.
It like almost sounds like
Born to die.
it's like it feels to me like he closes up just a tiny in the vocal tract and like the upper portion.
I can see
But I
that.
don't know what anatomy that would be like, if that would be an area epiglottic, like just a little bit of rattle there.
Ronnie,
I don't
we
know.
need you in Utah.
Oh my God.
It's nose time, baby. We're going to get the camera. We're shoving it in your
We're
brain.
going down.
We gotta find out the facts, man. We gotta know, and that's the only way to find out. So, I'm just saying, you should definitely do it. But I will say separately, the fact that you're able to sing and scream so well is incredible for as long as you've been doing it. For everybody who's been watching, Falling in Reverse or Ronnie Radke as he's ascended to like this place where now he was always big for me growing up. Like for me, one of my first bands, Escape the Fate. Fantastic band. Love Ronnie Radke then. I don't know what your guys' first band was, but Escape the Fate was definitely the first one for me. So, I want to hear what you guys got, but I'm going to tell you right now, he is even better than then. And it's absolutely incredible to see somebody who could have a great singing and screaming voice and still survive, 10 years later? I don't even know.
20, like it's a
More
long
than
time.
that, yeah. Since I was 15, 16, I'm 29 now, at least
Yeah, but
13
you're like
years.
a baby or something.
Oh my God. Okay, well, 15 years, and this man is still killing it out there, and that is a beautiful thing. So, shout out to Ronnie.
Yeah, shut up, man. It's amazing.
we are born to die and we all die to live.
I love that
Then
moment.
what's the point of living life if it just contradicts? I felt the darkness as it tried to pull me down.
Getting gritty.
The kind of dark that haunts 100-year-old house.
That is I say kind of fry-y, something like that. I know he doesn't really do too many false chord screams, which, I mean, don't need to do them, obviously, but I
Yeah.
think that he has a little bit of that going on, and this what makes it more panicky,
Yeah.
like that distressed, like you're in pain, and you're singing out there, and you add that little bit of distortion, which really makes you feel like it's more real. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's rather than flat and robotic, it adds that dynamic that I like. Because when you're upset, you don't just go 0 to 100. Maybe you do, but as you talk about it, you get more animated about it, and you can see that the progression of the song is kind of doing something like that. So that's very cool.
I really like the progression of this song, and that's partly because I feel like we start in such an exposed, tender place, and then this is not even halfway through yet.
Oh yeah.
Born to die and we all die to live. Then what's the point of living life if it just contradicts? I felt the darkness as it tried to pull me down. The kind of dark that haunts 100-year-old house. I wrestle with my thoughts. I shook the hand of doubt, running from my past. The burning feet don't fail me now.
What is that thing that people do when they sing that? I mean, you know more than me, but I guess old classic rock singers kind of do it, where they introduce that raspiness into their voice. It's not exactly a scream. Maybe it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you call that.
Well, there's definitely mixed research on this. There's a little bit where we've seen this, and a really good example would be sometimes you have the arytenoid cartilages that can rattle together and it creates like a rattling kind of sound. And sometimes you have the area epiglottic folds that can rattle. But I'm actually, this feels like it's a little more than a little growl or rattle to me. So like, I think this sounds a little more like what kinds of high constrictions your throat can sound like topped, sort of layered onto that bass fundamental wacka 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 of the true vocal folds that's creating that really intense pitch underneath. So I mean, I say something in the upper vocal tract. I think you're right. It doesn't sound like false chords at all to me.
No, I think he's doing like a weird between, like he does some screamy air, like you could hear it sounds like he's screaming in certain parts with this whatever, how he screams. But then I also feel like he adds a little bit of that grit when you're just singing, which I don't know if you'd consider that screaming, which is why I figured I would ask you to see how you felt about that.
So like there's so many different words to describe those things, and it's one of the things that you and I have talked about a lot recently, and I'm just kind of obsessed with is figuring out what kind of terminology we can use to describe these sounds, because on one hand we might just call them harsh, but there's clean true fold vibration underneath that. So sometimes harsh vocals are reserved for only describing when there's no clean fold interaction. Sometimes we call this extreme, but then sometimes you get that kind of growl in like a rock singer's voice and it's actually super comforting. It's not necessarily extreme or necessarily harsh. And so sometimes we'll just call that adding some distortion, which I actually think that's probably a good word, is like say, oh, I'm adding a little distortion there. But the big problem is that across the board between coaches, singers, scientists, there is no continuity in the terminology.
Right, because I could say distortion. Somebody else will hear distortion and be like, oh, that means he's 100% screaming or something like that. Or like something, and I guess it goes back to that thing we were talking about. There's no set standard.
Nothing.
Yet.
Would love to, really, I'd love to see that happen in my lifetime.
It's going to happen. We're manifesting it.
Manifesting. Okay,
right now.
We'll keep going.
I say, yep, perfect.
I should let you do it.
Ah! Boom.
Running from my past, I'm praying feet. Don't fail me now.
Oh, we're picking up.
My goddamn mind. It happens all the time. I can't believe I'm actually meant to be here.
I love his phrases. Right? You're like, you feel like until the very last moment, his guts are spilling out. He doesn't ever be like, oh, I'm giving up after the high note. He's like, no, till even like if he gets soft at the end of the phrase, you feel like his guts are spilling out in a soft way.
It's very emotional,
right?
Which is awesome.
Okay,
we need more emotional singers out here. Oh, boom! Oh! Ooh! Is that that little, Did you hear that?
Like
Am I crazy?
End,
is that a crack? Like a forced crack? Like he did that on purpose kind of thing? Because I know a lot of people do that.
So sometimes we'll call that like a cry at the end, where you basically like do this very momentary, it's like almost like a registration that's starting to switch at the end.
Right.
And so it's like a crack, but they don't.
It's an emotional crack.
Yeah.
It is supposed to be there.
It's like the crack that happens in your voice when you're about to cry.
Okay. So and that's why you're killing it, man. I'm crying over. I'm over here like. Hell yeah. All right, we're keeping it going then. Actually, we're going to bring it back to a little bit before the cry, because I like the little cry. Come on.
I know.
Wait,
I think that's the space where I was like, ah!
Okay. wonder if he actually played the piano on this. I mean, somebody's playing the piano. He's clearly playing it.
I think he plays piano. Yeah.
That's awesome. I wish I could say the same.
Yeah, you gotta pick up your cello skills again, man.
I'm trying. I'm trying over here. I need more time.
God, I'm just like such a sucker for this. I'm glad you're liking it.
A nice, good piano ballad goes a long way for this guy right here.
Yeah, right.
So.
Yeah, and then add cello, and he's sunk.
I wonder if they bring back the. I mean, is there even cello still happening right now?
Yeah,
I
it's happening
completely
underneath.
stopped paying attention. I'm just hearing the piano
it's
going
like
on.
a bed of strings that's happening that's giving this like huge like emotional swell without
Atmosphere.
us realizing it's happening.
Oh, and that is good songwriting.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
We saw an opera yesterday, by the way, just saying, very good songwriting as well. Just throwing that out there. I thought about that. We got the orchestration stuff. Okay, let's go.
Ah!
Oh!
Sorry.
All right, he's beasting.
I've lost myself. You tried to reach me, but you just can't help me.
I love to hear the piano that's following the vocals. That's very cool.
Right.
I love that. Reminds me of the opera we were at yesterday.
Myself. You tried to reach me, but you just can't help me. So long, goodbye. You tried to save me, it won't work this time. 'Cause now
Oh, something's happening.
in mind,
Oh, something's happening.
there's no
And it's gonna be big, I can tell.
time.
So
Was that a bridge, by the way? I feel like it was because it really started to get somewhere, but then I think now we're back to the chorus. I feel like the whole vibe changed, which gives me this vibe, especially that this chorus is gonna be freaking huge because we've been sitting here for 4 minutes and 26 seconds and it's just been very slow. And I'm like, this is going to come eventually because you could just tell something in this. It's a very, energetic song. So
it's epic.
it's an epic song. They're going to put it in there eventually, and we're getting to the end. So it's almost like one of those where they keep you stringing along. This way, at the very end of that song, you get the scratched.
The scratch.
The itch scratched.
Yeah, it's
Which
an
is
itch
good.
tease. That's
You're waiting till the very end, and I see what's going on here. We got a minute left, and I imagine this is going to be the most epic minute of the entire song.
I'm gonna let you do the honors.
Let's find out, though. There's only one way to find out, and it's by hitting this space bar. Boom!
Can't believe I'm actually meant to be here, trying to consume.
Such good vocal control.
The drug in me is you.
So light.
So high
Oh, do you hear that space too? Like where it has the whisper afterwards?
Yes.
I love that.
can't you stop?
Oh, yeah, there it is. Ah! I got the goosebumps! Goosebumps! Hell yeah! That was a goosebump moment I've been waiting for this entire song. We got it. We made it. We're bringing it back one more time. Let's go.
So,
Boom.
what?
Yes.
Can you I want to hear you describe that scream to me. How would you describe it?
Epic! Freaking awesome! And it just, the way that it builds into it is really cool because you think that it's gonna go and it's gonna stay clean as the entire song because it's what's pretty much been doing. And I think the original is also only cleans. I don't think there's really any screams going on
Not
in
like
that
that.
one. Yeah, and then to see them go from like this really cool ballad that's really slow into this very epic ending is very cool because I feel like the original song is very straightforward. You know exactly what you're getting. But if you may not necessarily, I didn't expect it to go into a scream. But it scratched the itch.
Scratch an
It
extra
made
itch
all
of you
my
in your
hair
hand.
stand up. Yeah, exactly. So, I like that. Let's hear it again.
Can't you stop?
Love those fry screams. I would consider those to be fry screams for sure. That's so epic.
It really is.
Get you some.
And it sounds like there's a tiny bit of pitch underneath.
I was
it,
gonna
too.
say that. I could tell it starting to like it's get you some. Something like that, but I could definitely hear a little pitch going on in the get you. It could just be flat, but you could hear it's kind of like moving around with it.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
It's got something. Oh, so awesome.
We're listening to it again. And if you
Yes.
don't like pauses, you're in the wrong freaking video. Boom!
Can't you stay?
Yes, I got you. I think there's some pitch going on in there.
Yeah, I think so. It's
Very pretty.
Yeah, but there is so much distortion on top, which is how I would use the terminology to describe it. There's
Definitely.
so much distortion on top that we actually like start to lose a sense of that pitch. That's
Yes.
how much there is. Like
It's subtle. It's subtly in there.
it's subtly, but I think that there are multiple sources creating the distortion at this point in his vocal tracks
Right.
because we just hear like if you think about like the root distortion right, to like twist something, it feels like the sound is just getting twisted in so many ways.
Right. I'll tell you, it's definitely... Architects also does a lot of pitch screams, and it does not sound anything like that. But I can hear there's pitch in there, and it's a lot more distorted than it is pitch a little bit. I think, but I also think maybe it's done tastefully and on purpose because it adds more emotion to it or something like that. Because, he's just been building up this entire time, and you can still tell it's there, but it's not all just straight up sing screaming. It's just a big emotional, like, outburst scream with a little bit of pitch. I don't know. I think it was tastefully done. I'm sure if he really wanted to, he could have went straight pitch scream this entire end part.
Yeah.
But he chose not to. So,
Yeah. It
good
feels like
songwriting.
it melded well.
Yes. Should I do the honors? Kaboom! Also, full band. Hello? I just noticed that right now. I hear the like a guitar going on, and I'm like, wait, hold on a second. There's a band here.
Yeah.
This isn't just piano anymore.
There's a drum kit that came in. It's burning, but it's there.
More evidence of just great songwriting. You know what I mean? You really hold off on... In my mind, I was like, okay, so if this is a new direction that Falling Reverse is going for, where's the rest of the band? Because it's going to just be Ronnie. Here it is. It's literally, it scratches the itch, and it's very well done because you're hearing the same part that I feel like you heard before with more layers, and it's screamed. So it changes the whole feeling, but it makes it bigger and more epic. And if you know anything about me, you know that I love big chorus vibes, love big vibes. Makes you feel good. Gets your hairs standing on your arms. So, this is really freaking good. Honestly, I think we should just go right back into the beginning, right before he even started screaming, so we can really just hear how big that transition is with all the instruments.
Yes.
All right.
Choose.
All right, I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna have to go back
A
one more
little bit
because
more to
that's a
get
little
more.
bit. Yeah.
I'm so high on
Slowing down.
misery. Can't you stay?
There's an acoustic guitar. There's even acoustic guitar in there, I'm pretty sure. I think I hear something like that going on. I could be totally wrong.
I think I hear some in there too, but I also could be wrong. It might just be like tons of cellos.
Exactly.
The-
Oh, well.
I love the way this is just so sustained on the scream. And I was thinking about like when we talk about what things are more taxing vocally for any sort of harsh vocals, the really sustained ones, they're hard.
They're harder,
right? And I think he's sustaining them with so much energy and keeping the quality the same too. I think it's impressive to me how much engagement I think the body has to have underneath that to make that continued sustained kind of sound.
I also think that it's cool because it's almost like a seesaw effect because he is holding it out, but at the same time, it's got you. So it's kind of changing as it's going on. And I think that's really freaking cool. You know, it's just like you're saying, holding out one long, steady stream harder. But I think as if you could start to hear the screams kind of changing in a way. I think is it getting quieter? What is it? Is it going down in pitch?
It feels like it's going down in pitch a little bit, but I also just think he's changing the like the resonance in his mouth. I think he's changing his filter, his mouth shape a little bit.
Love that.
Right?
Okay. We love filters. Good words here.
Yeah.
You can learn more about filters in our vocal lesson.
There's definitely a guitar.
It is, right? Oh, back into piano. See? Good songwriting. I cannot stress this enough. Good songwriting arguably goes further than having a very good anything in the band. Because you could have one really good part of the band, the rest of the band might not be as good. But when you have a really good, everybody takes every single skill set that they have and then properly puts it together rather than just mumble jumble throwing it all together, it comes out really good. And I think it leaves a really long lasting impression, which is, you know, bringing it back to that piano is really pretty. And it reminds you from the beginning and the whole other part of the song. So
Like, that's where I came from.
yes, exactly. So wow. Do they have any little like secret little they don't got any secret little, okay, unless they throw out something in the last second, which I highly doubt. But I will say, for an incredible song, Falling in Reverse, you guys are incredible. You know what I mean? I've heard the first version. It was a lot more upbeat. That was good. I didn't think they can get much better than that. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, wow, this is great. How are they gonna reimagine this now? And then,
Ballad.
yeah, really ballady. And I'm all about a good ballad. That's why I liked, you know, like I said, Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy growing up. There's a reason why we wrote Pain Remains, the trilogy, as like a ballad as well. I'm a big fan of that. I think a lot of people are. I think Falling in Reverse really hit the nail on the head with this one. So Ronnie, everybody in the band, good job, everybody. Golf clap, little one. Hell yeah. Is there anything that you would like to say before I close this one out?
Just thanks. I really love listening to music with you. And
Me
hearing
too.
your perspective.
Boom! All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had a really good time, as much good time that I had here. You had hopefully the same. So now we're going to be heading out of here. Check out our next video very soon, please. I will see you there, but until then, keep rocking out. Keep listening to Falling in Reverse. Ronnie Radke, baby. I'll see you guys soon.